Dear students, now we are going to the very important part of the discussion, that is sine inverse of sin x, cos inverse of cos x, tan inverse of tan x. We will discuss functions like this. Very importantly, dear students, sine inverse of sin x is equal to x, but under restrictions. What is that restriction? That we are going to discuss now. Dear students, you should know this. Let us consider sine inverse of sin x is equal to alpha. Therefore, sin x is equal to sin alpha. What is the general solution for sin x is equal to sin alpha? X is equal to n pi plus minus 1 raised n into alpha. And clearly, dear students, for various values of n, we will get the relation between x and alpha. Sine inverse of sin x, now we will replace alpha by sine inverse of sin x. Sine inverse of sin x is equal to n pi plus minus 1 raised n into x. Is that correct? Right. Let us analyze this. Sine inverse of sin x, when x belongs to 0 to 1, when x belongs to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, when x belongs to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, it is equal to x. Right? You can easily prove this. When x belongs to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, sine inverse of sin x is clearly equal to x. From pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, right? From pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, it is pi minus x. How can you say that? See, just see, sine inverse of sin x is equal to alpha, and therefore x is equal to n pi plus minus 1 raised n into alpha, or alpha is equal to n pi plus minus 1 raised n into x. Right? Give various values for x, various values for n. Right? However, it is a very simple graph. Look at this. Sine inverse of sin x is equal to x if x belongs to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. This is pi. This is 3 pi by 2. Right? From 3 pi by 2 up to 5 pi by 2, call this as 5 pi by 2. Right? It is actually, the graph is clearly like this, whereas this is 2 pi. Can you tell me what is this? If this is x, this must be of the form minus x plus something, because slope is minus 1. So, this is clearly pi minus x. Is that correct? Pi minus x. How can you conclude that it is pi minus x? This is pi, right? This angle is 45 degree. This line meets y-axis at pi, 0 comma pi. Y-intercept is pi. Slope is minus 1. Actually, it is minus x plus pi. I am writing it as pi minus x. This slope is 45 degree, which is 1. Therefore, it should be of the form x plus or minus something. So, you can see, dear students, the line meets y-axis at a negative point at clearly minus 2 pi. Therefore, this is x minus 2 pi. This is pi minus x. Now, again, this is pi by 2. This is minus pi. This point is minus 3 pi by 2. Between minus 3 pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. Between minus 3 pi by 2 to minus pi by 2, what will be this? Do you agree with me? The slope is minus 1, right? Therefore, it should be of the form minus x plus something. But this line meets y-axis at a point below x-axis. However, this point is minus pi, means the point where it meets y-axis also should be minus pi. Therefore, this is minus x minus pi when x belongs to minus 3 pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. So, this point is pi, and let me draw one more line. Let me draw one more line. That is, this is minus 3 pi by 2, and this point should be minus 5 pi by 2. Between minus 5 pi by 2 to minus 3 pi by 2, the slope of this line is clearly 1. Therefore, it should be of the form x and the line meets y-axis at a point above x-axis, whereas this point is 2 pi, minus 2 pi. Is that correct? So, whereas the point where this line meets y-axis should be plus 2 pi. Therefore, this is x plus 2 pi. So, and of course, the graph continues like this. And of course, it will falls down and the graph continues like this, which is not required for us at this stage. And can you see something here, dear students? Sine inverse of sine x is not just x. Sine inverse of sine x is not just x, it is something more than that. That's what I wanted to convey it to you, dear students. And I think we can analyze something here. Is it a one-one function or many-one function? A line drawn parallel to x-axis meets the graph at more than one point, therefore definitely it should be many-one function. No doubt about it. So, it is definitely many-one function, right? It is many-one. And no doubt anybody can say it is an odd function. It is neither even nor odd, not even neither even nor odd, it is not also even function, it is an odd function. And what about domain, dear students? You can start from minus infinity, you can go up to infinity. For every value of x, sine inverse of sine x exists. Therefore, domain is x belongs to set of real numbers. And what about range, dear students? You can see what is this point, right? This is pi by 2. This point should be pi by 2. Upper limit is pi by 2. Lower limit is minus pi by 2. Should we include both? Yes, we have to include. Y belongs to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Is it periodic? Of course, it is evident from the graph. It should be a periodic function. See, dear students, one complete cycle is here, right? Start from this. This is one complete cycle. The period is nearly or clearly equal to 2 pi. So, sine inverse of sine x period is no doubt equal to 2 pi. Now, let us talk about cos inverse of cos x. First, once we start talking about cos inverse of cos x, I will say cos inverse of cos x is equal to x. Is equal to x. If x belongs to 0 to pi, the first basic thing, right? It's a matter of common sense. Cos inverse of cos x should be x if x belongs to 0 to pi. Dear students, you know the solution for cos inverse of cos x is equal to alpha. So, therefore, cos x is equal to cos alpha. Therefore, alpha is equal to 2n pi plus or minus alpha. Using this rule for the various values of n, we can get the solution. Anyway, coming back, cos inverse of cos x is equal to x if x belongs to 0 to pi. This is 0, this is pi, right? So, it is just a straight line between 0 and pi. See, dear students, right? Cos inverse of cos x is equal to x if x belongs to 0 to pi. What happens when x lies between pi and 2 pi? When x lies between pi and 2 pi, cos inverse of cos x should be equal to 2 pi minus x. I will say f of x is equal to 2 pi minus x if x belongs to pi to 2 pi. 2 pi minus x. What is the slope of the line 2 pi minus x? Minus 1. What is y-intercept? Plus 2 pi. So this is pi. Let me mark 2 pi here. So the line should be clearly like this. Do you agree with me? This point is 2 pi. And when x belongs to 2 pi to 3 pi, right? And what about f of x? With this understanding, even you only can draw the graph. It should be like this. What is the slope? Slope is plus 1. So therefore, it should be of the form x plus something. But whereas the y-intercept is negative, if this is 2 pi, as this angle is 45 degree, the line where it meets y-axis should be minus 2 pi. So we can straight away say f of x is equal to x minus 2 pi if x belongs to 2 pi to 3 pi. Understanding this, dear students? Now, I think you can draw yourself what happens when x is greater than 3 pi, lesser than 4 pi, right? So between 3 pi to 4 pi, slope is negative, therefore it should be minus. It meets y-axis at a point, so this is 3 pi and this is 4 pi, so where it meets y-axis above x-axis, right? That is 4 pi minus pi. Is that correct? F of x is equal to 4 pi minus x if x belongs to 3 pi to 4 pi. Is that correct? So we have explained it for positive values of x. Now let us talk about negative values of x. Please make a note of this first. When x lies between minus pi and 0, what happens? See, when x lies between minus pi to 0, f of x will be equal to a line like this, right? And this point is minus pi and this point is plus pi, and this is 0 comma 0. Can you tell me what is the slope of this line? Slope of this line is minus 1. So it should be simply minus x. Is that correct? Right? It is minus x. Next, when x lies between minus 2 pi to plus, minus 2 pi to minus pi, minus 2 pi to minus pi, what is the slope of the line? Slope of the line is 1, right? So it should be of the form, f of x should be of the form x plus or minus something, whereas the line meets y-axis at a point which is above x-axis, and that point should be 2 pi. Therefore, this is x plus 2 pi if x belongs to minus 2 pi to minus pi. If x is less than minus 2 pi, greater than minus 3 pi, then what happens? If x belongs to minus 3 pi to minus 2 pi, if x belongs to minus 3 pi to minus 2 pi, slope is clearly minus 1. So f of x should be of the type minus x, whereas it meets x-axis, y-axis at a point below x-axis. This point is minus 2 pi, this point also should be minus 2 pi, this is minus x minus 2 pi. So now this should be the line if x belongs to minus 4 pi to minus 3 pi, minus 4 pi to minus 3 pi. What is the slope of the line? Slope of the line is 1. F of x is x plus or x minus. As this point is minus 4 pi, the point where this line meets y-axis should be plus 4 pi. So therefore it is x plus 4 pi. So this is the graph of cos inverse of cos x, right? Try to memorize this, try to understand this. The graph of cos inverse of cos x looks like this. students, once again, let me draw the graph of cos inverse of cos x and discuss few important information. See, I'm just drawing the graph like this, right? Just only the critical points only we will mention and discuss about cos inverse of cos x. Okay, this is 0, this is pi, this is 2 pi, and this point is 3 pi, and this point is 4 pi, this point is minus pi, no, this point is minus pi, this is minus 2 pi, minus 3 pi, minus 4 pi. You can observe carefully, dear students. Cos inverse of cos x is equal to x between 0 and pi minus x between minus pi and 0. That is an important information to you. However, can you tell me the domain of this function? Domain must be x belongs to set of real numbers, because cos inverse of cos x exists for all the values of x. Therefore, x belongs to set of real numbers. And what type of function is that? It is definitely a many one function. What about range, dear students? You can see range is from 0 up to what? This point is pi. Range is y belongs to 0 to pi, of course including both. Is it a periodic function? No doubt it should be periodic. You can easily see that in the graph. So, the period is 2 pi. One complete cycle. Periodicity is, it is periodic with period is equal to 2 pi. And no doubt it is a many one function, right? So, this is about the basics of cos inverse of cos x.
ಡಿಯರ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್, ನೀವು ದಿವಿಗೆ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನಲ್ಗೆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಹೇಳಿ, ಇದೇ ಥರ ನೂರಾರು ವೀಡಿಯೋಸನ್ನು ಫ್ರೀಯಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿ.